So in my previous video, obviously, I was reacting to the Nintendo Direct, and I wanted it to be about the whole Direct. I didn't want to put Isabelle in the name. I didn't want to put Isabelle in the video thumbnail because I didn't want anyone who hasn't seen it yet to accidentally be spoiled if they see a thumbnail. That's very important to me because sometimes when things spoil something in a thumbnail or in the title, it pisses me off so much because you're naturally going to be like, what is this? Because it's something you don't understand. So, for example, when Ridley was revealed at E3, a lot of people who were like, "Oh, my friends told me to watch the E3 because they actually did show stuff on Smash." Well, I knew they're gonna show stuff on Smash, so I guess I'll look it up. And you see Ridley all over YouTube, and you're like, you're not trying to look at Ridley. You're just trying to. You want to watch the whole, um, the whole video. But of course, people are going to, because they want you to click on their video. Of course, they're going to put Ridley right in the thumbnail. Be like, this is the whole. This is it. This is Ridley. This is the whole point. So, the best thing you can do is to avoid that at all costs. People who put that shit in their video thumbnails and titles are assholes, But especially because when you watch this whole direct, the build up to Isabelle, where some people might think it's actually for a new Animal Crossing game, and then get disappointed that it's not a new Animal Crossing game, and then it is an Animal Crossing game. Like, the reveals were fucking legit. Isabelle revealed, new Animal Crossing revealed, new Luigi's Mansion revealed, Katamari Damacy's coming back, Final Fantasy's coming to Switch, and I'm very happy for that too. The Capcom game looked cool. Like, I'm excited to play some board games on Switch. One of my friends really into board games is like, it's kind of entry level stuff. I don't care. You can play it online. That sounds fun. I want to play online with my friends. That sounds great. I know Munchkin's like very casual. I've played Munchkin before. It's casual as fuck, but that doesn't matter. I can play it online with my friends. That is fun. That is cool. Plus, I like playing board games in video game form. I don't know. Sorry. I know it's kind of weird. Of course, they showed more stuff about things we already know about, but I want to talk about Isabelle specifically being in Smash right now. And the reason why is because, like I already said in the last video, most people didn't expect her to be a semi-clone or an original character at all. All they really considered her to be was going to be a Echo. And a few people here and there, Alex, basically said that he wants Isabelle to not be an Echo and to instead be her own character. And I remember that was the first time I was like, no? And then I saw John from Game Explain say that Isabelle won't be an Echo, and even people on Game Explain were like, no, it'll probably be an Echo. It'll probably be an Echo. And then he was like, no, I think it's going to be an original character. And they started coming up with ideas on how that would work, and they're like, actually, that could be cool to have Isabelle like that. That could be cool. So, yeah. And after watching Game Explain's analysis on Isabelle, watching some of the trailers with her, while watching Mewtwo King talk over it, and watching everyone talking about the realness and possibilities of her moves, it's nice to know. I thought her stop sign thing was a taunt, and so did Mewtwo King. But Game Explain pointed out how whenever the stop sign comes up, there's like sparkles above it, meaning it's not a special move, it's not a taunt, it is a smash. And we know the Party Popper is the forward smash, we know the water bucket is the down smash, because again, the same sparkles. So we know that has to be her up smash, and it comes out of the ground, hits you up. So that stop sign move will be her up smash. Stuff like that's cool to know. And what I'm saying is, like, a lot of her moves she still functions so similar to Villager, but they're all different. Like, there's a lot of differences here. In a screenshot, there's a toy hammer, and Game Explain was suggesting that it would replace the boxing gloves, which I can't see Isabelle wearing boxing gloves and punching people in the face. I can see her using a toy hammer and bopping people on the head in a non-violent fashion. So I'm very happy with that. That, to me, makes sense. A lot of her moves and utilities, her tool sets, her weapons, her items, I guess, they're all very different from Villager. The fishing rod is her forward throw, her forward special. It's not her throw, because she still has the bug catching net. She also still has the ability to pocket things just like Villager. So it's not her fishing rod is not her throw. That is her forward special, and it kind of reminds me of some of the other like whip moves, like Samus has or something. But it looks like you can reel it in and catch people on while you're reeling it in too, and so that is very exciting. So, and to me, this is the first character where I'm like, I know I said about K. Rool, but I think this is just a theme here where characters don't have to be that special anymore. K. Rool I thought wasn't that special, but after really analyzing him, his ranged attacks with his gun look very unique. Like no one else has something like that in the game. He's not just he's not just like a hodgepodge of different characters. He is actually like he's got some uniqueness to him. Isabelle is kind of unique as well. Some of her other moves are just like attacks that hit in certain ways. Though I do believe her gyro attack that looks like a trap or either detonated or it's a trap, but it looks like a trap. I do believe that move could be really cool because it could possibly hit multiple people and it almost be unplanned every single time. Otherwise, it's just a trap move. And it looks like a lot more characters have projectiles and traps than previously. A lot of characters have traps in this one. Her fishing rod move is very unique, and no one really has a move like that in the game. There's moves that are similar to it, but it's kind of the most unique one. I know it's kind of a stretch, but that is like she's kind of a semi-clone character, but not at the same time. It's so weird. It's like Sakurai did that thing where he's like, well, these characters from the same franchise, so I'll make them have like similar ideas behind them, but execution will be very different. And so what I've been saying is like she's like a semi-clone, but she's a semi-clone in the same sense that Ike is a semi-clone. Like she's a very far from home semi-clone. Okay, it's like there's multiple kinds of semi-clones. Well, there's two kinds. There's the Echo Fighter, which is just straight up Echo, but then there's the previously Echo Fighter who's kind of gained his own space, and that's characters like Ganondorf and characters like Roy and characters like Falco, who were previously straight up Echo characters, and now they kind of have their same with Dr. Mario. Now they kind of have their own like, utilities to them that make them more special. Then there's the straight up characters that are introduced from Brawl and onward, where the semi-clones were very different and just had where you could see like Lucario's a semi-clone of Mewtwo, and you could see the inspiration from Mewtwo, but he's not like a straight up Mewtwo clone or anything. It's just like, oh, his B standard is a charge attack like Mewtwo's, and that's about it. Like, and everything else is kind of his own. That's kind of what they're doing here with Isabelle, where she's like a semi-clone from Brawl versus a straight up clone from Melee or an Echo Fighter from Smash 4. Or sorry, oh well, yeah, Smash 4 I guess introduced Echo Fighters, but there wasn't very many. There's only 2, so it's not, it's not like that big of a deal. Now we have Echo Fighters and newcomers like Smash 4, but with more emphasis on Echo Fighters. There's 6 so far, but it looks like semi-clones can happen, and that's big. And I know a lot of people think like, well, duh, they can, but you have to really consider a new semi-clone was not introduced in Smash 4. The only semi-clones that came out after the game already came out were DLC of previous characters. So there was no new semi-clone characters in Smash 4. They focused like entirely on newcomers in Smash 4. Really, they did. This one we know there's going to be half newcomers and half echoes. We already know there's already 6. There's 5 newcomers and 4 new echoes. So like, again, it's like there's going to be like just as many newcomers as echoes, new echoes, not just echoes in general, but new echoes. So, because I really do think Shadow is coming in the next Smash-based Direct. I when they first showed Isabelle, I didn't think they would show a trailer for an Echo. So I was like, wow, she's actually going to be unique. And then, but I still waited to see, like, is she going to be unique? And then she was. But I do think that like Shadow, I mean, this fucking confirmed Shadow even harder than he already was. He was so confirmed at this point. But the fact that we've all been saying Isabelle and Shadow have both been missing, which means they're coming, and then Isabelle is coming now, and we've seen Isabelle's here. It's like Shadow, you're the last one. You're the last one, and you're possibly the most controversial one because you're a third-party character. But Richter Belmont kind of proved it could happen. Chrom kind of proved that you can have different moves. Dark Samus and Daisy both prove that you don't have to have the same idle animation or running animations. So, yeah, like we could have Shadow being a full-on, fully realized Echo, but it looks like if Sakurai, it looks like Sakurai doesn't have to just make someone Echo just because they fight similar. Semi-clones are still a thing. This is good for people who think Kin is going to happen, because Kin is someone I really don't want to see. I really think it would be a total waste, because it's like, what's the point of putting Kin in the game if you're not going to make him fight like Kin? If you're going to make him fight like Ryu, there's really no point. I'll just play Ryu. I'd rather not play Kin. Like, if you want to give Ryu a red costume with yellow hair like they did in Marvel vs. Capcom, then so be it. But if you're going to put Kin in the game, you're going to have to do him right or not do him at all. Honestly, I see no point at all putting Kin in the game. The only thing I could... If they made Kin an Echo, they would possibly change his Shoryuken to have a fire effect, and change his Hadouken to be green, and not have the Fireball Hadouken anymore. And that's about it. Hopefully they would change the focus attack too. But now if they did Kin, there's a lot of option here. First of all, he doesn't even have to have the focus attack as his down B. Kin could have a few other options for a down B attack. But they'd probably do another focus attack just because that seems to be the trend with Smash. Just like we can see with Isabelle, they normally have a similar mindset to tackling these people. Kin will also probably have two final smashes, and he'd also probably have the ability to do command inputs to do moves instead of just hitting the special button. So that's cool, but to me it's like such a waste. It's like, why even put the resources into putting Kin in the game as a semi-clone, and why even do him as Echo if he's not even going to be good enough or worth it? So to me it's like, just don't put Kin in at all. Put in like Chun-Li. Kin would be an interesting character, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather have like Akuma be a boss character and then just not have any Street Fighter character besides Ryu. I think it's fine like that. I don't think we need other Street Fighter characters, to be honest, but if we did, I would say Chun-Li all the way. I would say, please, for the love of God, do Chun-Li. But I do want to talk about something else involving leaks, because I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my Isabelle video, or, well, this is my Isabelle video. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my direct response video, that the guy who originally leaked that Snake, Simon, and Ridley would be in Smash, he also said that Isabelle would be in Smash later. And what happened was that the first E3 video, we got Ridley. The big direct, the Smash-based direct, we got Simon. And now in this last direct, we just got Isabelle. And to me, it's like he's fucking batting like over 1,000 at this point. He's hitting them out of the fucking park. Like, he knows something. Something is up here. There is something here to where I'm like, this guy is calling it right down the middle. However, if you really think about it like this. When Smash 4 was doing the ballot, I remember thinking to myself, they probably won't put Inkling in or Ridley/K. Rool, because they're probably going to save new amazing IP characters for the next Smash. Same with the villains. They're probably not going to add in a few villains here and there until the next game. They're probably not going to add in one villain. If they had to choose between adding in Ridley or K. Rool, it's like, no, that's probably going to be the next game. I don't think people realized that at the time. I actually was thinking about that at the time, and I remember saying that to people and be like, no, that's stupid, just put in K. Rool. And it's like, guys, the K. Rool will probably be saved for later. I thought Gino would be more appropriate at that point, but I also understand why saving Gino for this game, it might be important for Sakurai. Because Gino's a long-awaited character, and he might not want to have done a long-awaited character for the ballot. So instead he did Bayonetta. Now, this guy has a few things to say. about Smash Bros. Involving leaks. I'm going to pause this and pull up what he has said. I found this on GameFAQs earlier, so let me just pull it up for you guys. So I'll probably switch the screen to something here. At this point in the video, I'll probably have a screenshot up of what I'm looking at, but I'm on the Smash Wiki, where people have been documenting this stuff, but this stuff has been documented all over YouTube and people on Discord servers and all over the place. Everyone has been pretty thorough in documenting what this guy's been saying. But basically, what he has been saying is that, like I said, he called that a lot of the characters will be coming back, and that including Snake and Ice Climbers. He claimed that Ridley would be in the game. He later claimed Simon and Isabelle will be in the game, and he's been right about all of this stuff. Now, he's made a few claims that have not come true yet, but that doesn't mean they won't come true later. In fact, at this point, considering how accurate he's been, it's kind of uncanny, and he keeps claiming, I have insider information, and he keeps getting things right. So, here are 4 things that he's been saying, and I want to kind of commentate on them. And I'm just going to say them all 4 in a row, and then I'll start commenting on them. So, first is that there will be Minecraft representation in Smash. And that's all we know. And I've talked about this with some friends. I think if Minecraft Steve was in the game, then they would say Minecraft Steve is in the game. If he didn't have knowledge of Minecraft Steve in the game, then, it's like, if he knew Minecraft Steve would be in the game, then he would say that. But he's saying Minecraft will just be represented. Now, I don't think this is too far of a stretch, considering the Monster Hunter representation. A lot of people keep forgetting that Monster Hunter is crossing over with Smash, and they did with Smash 4 already. Monster Hunter is a super popular game, not just popular in Japan, it's popular all around the world. It's mega popular in Japan, but it's also pretty damn popular here in America too. It's an insanely successful franchise for Capcom, that Capcom's starting to push a little bit more as their fighting games aren't doing as well, and so right now they're kind of pushing Monster Hunter, is what I'm trying to say. And so it makes sense that since there is a Monster Hunter character as in the form of a assist trophy, we might get Minecraft in the form of the game, in the form of a stage, which, when you think about it, if you could destroy the environment while you're fighting in it, then I have no problem with that, because it's all like voxel art, right? It's all like voxels. So if little boxes of dirt get destroyed as characters fly into it or something, and then Steve's in the background mining over it or something, or maybe that's just how it is, and there's monsters in the background and stuff. What's the problem with that? That sounds like a good idea for a Smash stage, Minecraft stage where it crumbles and falls apart as you're fighting on it. To me that sounds good. So yeah, I think just like how you can fully represent Mario Kart in a stage, I think you can fully represent Minecraft in a stage. I think it's entirely possible. Sort of like how you can also represent Monster Hunter by just having a giant monster and you fight him, and it's that's Monster Hunter. You fight giant monsters. That's literally the whole fucking game. So you can represent the entire game with just an assist trophy. You don't always need a character in Smash to represent it, And not that, I mean, companies, if that's your only game and it's being represented in Smash that way, for example, Yacht Club Games is only game representation with an assist trophy, that kind of sucks. But I kind of knew Shovel Knight had the potential to be in the game, but I really kind of doubted his potential to be a playable character, so I understand why he's an assist trophy. So now the next thing is a Pokemon from Generation 7 that is not going to be Decidueye. He said specifically it will not be Decidueye. He also said it won't be Lycanroc. Does that sound right to you guys? Lycanroc? You see, even though I play almost every Pokemon game, I actually did not finish Sun and Moon, but because I just found it to be horrible and boring and not nearly as good as a lot of the past Pokemon games. I actually really enjoyed X and Y, for example. I really enjoyed Black and White too, but when it comes to this one, Sun and Moon, I didn't really enjoy that much, and Lycanroc, I really don't even know who that is. I know it's not the legendary. Either way, it's not going to be him. I know who Decidueye is because he's one of the starters. And it's not going to be Mimikyu, which Mimikyu is the one that looks kind of like Pokemon. It looks kind of like Pikachu, but like it's like wearing a Pikachu bag over him or something. We know for a fact that Mimikyu is a Pokemon that comes out of a Pokeball, which is a great idea. And that's the way it always should have been. Mimikyu, whoever thought it would be Mimikyu is wrong. But the thing is that Lycanroc, Mimikyu is a very popular character. Mimikyu is very popular, so it makes sense for him to say it's not going to be that. And it's not going to be Decidueye, which is not. It's not that Decidueye is popular in the show or anything. People just kind of gravitated towards Decidueye because they're like, there's a fire starter and a water starter, so there should be a grass starter. And like that's not the reasons why Sakurai chooses Pokemon or any character, really. Charizard is in the game because he's more iconic than the other two Pokemon in the Pokemon trio. So when he removed Pokemon Trainer, he decided just to make it straight up Charizard, and not give Squirtle and Ivysaur their own spots. When it comes to Greninja, Game Freak actually suggested to put Greninja in the game because they knew he was going to be very popular and he was going to be pushed on people in the anime. So Game Freak was pushing Greninja, which is why he decided to put Greninja in. I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Lucario as well. Game Freak was pushing Lucario, and so he put Lucario in. So it kind of depends on who's Game Freak's pushing right now. And the funny thing is that Generation 7 already has the anime out and the games have been out for like 2 years? The game has been out for like 2 years, right? Sun and Moon is not, or no, maybe it was only 1 year. I don't remember. But Sun and Moon's not, it's not new. It didn't just come out. Like Pokemon X and Y, you know, came out like the same year that Smash did. So like, it's like, yeah. Anyway, so I do think that a new Pokemon is inevitable. I would be very shocked if there was no new Pokemon character. Whereas a new Fire Emblem character makes sense they didn't put one in because they already have Corrin. So without a new character besides Corrin, there's really no reason to put another Fire Emblem character in. So they went with Chrom. But as far as Pokemon goes, I would really just prefer a Generation 1 Pokemon. But I know there's a whole bunch already. But considering the popularity of Pokemon Go, I don't think it's that out of the ordinary. But I understand why they might put in a Generation 7 Pokemon, and I think it follows the trend of what Sakurai's doing. I'm just not completely out here saying that Sakurai is going to follow the trend 100%, but it does seem likely that the Pokemon will be from Generation 7. So I think that so far with the Minecraft and the Generation 7 thing, I think Vergeben is correct so far. I think what he's saying is not outside the realm of possibility, which means these are things that we should be looking at because he's really been getting these leaks fucking down. However, he is literally the reason I started talking about Kin so much, because this next leak is that Kin will be a playable Echo Fighter. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. After this, the last thing that he said that hasn't come true yet is a newcomer owned by Square Enix will appear. Everyone is saying Geno. Everyone is saying Geno. At this point, Geno is such a lock. It seems so likely. I will be shocked if Geno's not in the game, and I will be a little hurt if Geno's not in the game. To me, part of the excitement and how fun this is knowing that because everyone's getting what they want, I want Geno. That's the thing I want. So that's the thing I've been wanting since Brawl, and that's the thing that would make me the happiest. And it seems like now is the right time. It seems like if it is Geno's time right here. And if he's not in this one, then he most likely will be in the next one. But the hype for Geno is so strong. You gotta do Geno, man. You gotta do Geno. And so I think that Geno's happening. I think, honestly, Sakurai will see the hype for Geno. And if he didn't plan to put Geno in Ultimate, then Geno might just be DLC. Because, holy shit, like, Geno is coming. And it's happening. So a newcomer owned by Square Enix will appear. I think most people are already guessing at that because Cloud is the only character from Square Enix, and it would make sense to add in another, but it wouldn't really make sense to do another Final Fantasy character, and I would say Square Enix should do another Final Fantasy character because they have plenty. Some of their most iconic and coolest characters are from Final Fantasy. There's so many characters from Final Fantasy I would really love to see, but the thing is that there's only two songs from the Final Fantasy franchise in the entire game. Both of them are being from Final Fantasy VII, which makes me think it's very strange and unlikely that they would um, specifically show that there's no new songs from Final Fantasy VII or any Final Fantasy just to do a reveal for a Final Fantasy character and be like, oh yeah, we lied. It just doesn't sound right. It doesn't seem right at all. Especially because they didn't lie about Dark Samus or Chrom. They don't have to lie about stuff to not show stuff in the game. So I don't think it'll be a Final Fantasy character. I don't think they're lying about the lack of Final Fantasy music. I think they would have, because they could have just not shown that, but they did show it. But they could have just not shown it at all. Um, so I think that instead it would most likely be a Square Enix character that's not from Final Fantasy, which leaves Kingdom Hearts as like the next most popular franchise, but that means including Disney, and I feel like that's just so much extra money that it's just not going to happen. And while I do think Sora is would be a cool character, it would be really fantastic to see him in the game. I'm just not seeing it at this point. If they can't even get the rights to do like more Final Fantasy songs, I just don't see why they would do get Disney involved and do Disney stuff with Kingdom Hearts. Not that they have to do any music from Disney; they could just do straight up music from Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts has a lot of original music in it already. But especially when you look at like Hollow Bastion and stuff like that, and Traverse Town, and then you have the sequel game with like the other the place the organization 13 lives in, stuff like that. So there's so many ways, Destiny Island too, and then all the fight songs, the battle songs, the the boss music and stuff. So it just doesn't make any sense to not to do. It just doesn't make any sense to put Sora in. So I highly doubt there'll be any Kingdom Hearts stuff in the game. If that upsets you, you're dumb. Cloud's already in the game. He's not from Kingdom Hearts. He was in Kingdom Hearts. He's one of the coolest things about Kingdom Hearts. The reason I bought Kingdom Hearts was because Cloud was in the game, and I loved Final Fantasy VII. So, just shut up. Like you came to Kingdom Hearts for Cloud. You didn't come, for any other reason. So, and I know some of you Disney fans out there, but you guys don't play video games anyway. So just shut up. Shut up. You're here for Cloud. Are you people not entertained? So that leads, the next most popular I would say is Geno, and that's mainly because people who aren't into Mario RPG have been around and seen the fan demand, and they're like, well, we want Geno and make everyone else happy. So Geno's the next one that I think is on that list. So, and signs aren't pointing to Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. Signs are pointing more towards Geno. There's a lot of things in his favor here. However, there is a lot of people saying Chrono from Chrono Trigger, and I have to say, Chrono from Chrono Trigger is probably more popular than Geno, but at the same time, like, who's talking about Chrono Trigger at this point? Like, honestly, Bravely Default makes more sense than putting in a Chrono Trigger character at this point. I don't know, I just don't see it, so I think Geno is happening. I think it's for sure Geno. Yes, so yeah. But now let's go back to Ken as a playable Echo Fighter. He's specifically been saying Ken will be an Echo Fighter. He didn't say Isabelle will be an Echo Fighter. He just said Isabelle will be in the game, which means he might be right about Ken being an Echo. And the thing is that I have noticed that sometimes these leakers are hard to find, and sometimes they say conflicting stuff. Apparently, like LOZ said something about, he said literally was on one website he said something, and on a different website he said the opposite, and it makes me wonder if people are just posing as these big name leakers sometimes. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this guy actually does think Ken will be an Echo Fighter, and I'm just not sure. To me, I just don't think so. So maybe he will be an Echo, maybe he doesn't know all the information, maybe, because from what it looks like, he has talked to LOZ, and he's basically said that he doesn't know everything. He wanted to know what LOZ knew, and so they could bounce off their predictions together. So I know that this guy doesn't know everything. Vergeben doesn't actually know everything. He hasn't seen like the final game or whatever. But yeah, we'll have to see when more comes out. I've already made a video all about my case against Ken. I still don't really think it's happening. I'm sorry. I really don't think it's going to happen. Even if it was a semi-clone, which would be the only way I'd really accept it, um, it would be very frustrating that just knowing that they decided to make Ken when there's other Street Fighter characters they could have made. That would be a lot better than Ken. Um, so I'm not so sure on Ken. I don't see why they would do that at all. It'd be kind of such a stupid waste. I don't think Street Fighter fans really care that much. I think they're fine with playing as Ryu. Because I think everyone who's played Street Fighter ever has played as Ryu before, especially because he's in Marvel vs. Capcom and everything. Ken's not really in every Marvel vs. Capcom game. He's in like some of them, and I just don't see it. I just don't think Ken will be in the game. So, um, I mean, that's me saying that's like the one thing. And some of the other stuff he's been saying, it's like Minecraft being in the game does make sense, but I'm not like 100% sold on it. I just think yeah, that could happen. Versus the Generation 7 Pokemon, I think is like very likely going to happen. I think it's like a 65-70% chance happening. And Geno, I think, is like a 95% going to happen. But when you look at when it comes to Ryu and Ken in Minecraft, Ken I think is like a 20% chance of happening, and Minecraft is like I don't know, like a 50%. Like it could go either way. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, so far Vergeben has been very spot on, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure quite yet. Um, yes. So either way, we will have to keep watching. Have to see what characters we get. Have to see if there's any announcements. If Ken is an Echo Fighter, it might make sense that Ken and Shadow would be revealed at the same time. I was thinking that they would reveal Isabelle, Dixie, and Shadow as Echo Fighters for the next Smash-based Direct, which I was thinking might be in October. I'm not so sure. Maybe that will be in November, but I kind of do think it'll be in October still. Um, that Smash-based Direct, whenever it happens, will probably reveal the remaining Echo Fighters, if there's any at all. And because I think that Shadow's definitely for sure going to be in the game as an Echo, I don't think they'd be saving him for just by himself, because they didn't do that last time when they revealed Chrom and Dark Samus. Unless they reveal Shadow alongside Tails, which would be the only Sonic character I could really possibly see them doing at this point. Mainly because, and this is a reason why I think Tails has a chance, is because the big rumor in Smash Bros. Melee was that Tails was his own playable character along with Sonic. It was Sonic and Tails together as a playable character. So I think that Tails actually does have a chance of being a possible character. And plus, all this build-up and hype of making people think that Shadow's for sure going to be a character. So that way when they show Shadows and Echo and then be like, oh, we also have Tails, people might lose their shit, because people are like, well, there's probably only going to be one more character from Sonic. It's probably going to be Shadow. It's probably not going to be Tails and Shadow. If it's Tails and Shadow, my little fucking kid heart will just die of happiness. Because that was my favorite game growing up, was Sonic Adventure 2. That was my favorite game when I was little. And before I owned Sonic Adventure 2, I had Sonic 3 and Knuckles on Genesis, and I connected them together. I beat the whole game. I got the Super Emeralds. I did everything. I beat the game's every character. You know, Sonic, those were some of my favorite games growing up. And so getting Tails to be Sonic and Tails, that would be fucking awesome. But then getting Tails to do Sonic and Sonic and Shadow as a team too. Sonic and Tails as a team sounds awesome. Sonic and Shadow as a team sounds awesome. Sonic and Tails fighting each other makes sense because in the original Sonic 2, Tails runs behind Sonic, they rate there's a two-player race mode where Sonic races Tails, but then Shadow's also perfect because one of the biggest multiplayer games as far as Sonic goes was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, because that specifically added in more stages. But even the Dreamcast version had a bunch of the race mode where you're Sonic and Shadow is so much fun. So like, either way, I'm happy with that. But honestly, I think Tails, when you look at the fact that Ditto is in Smash Ultimate, and he was like a secret character that was in Melee that people had to hack the game and figured out like, oh wow, there's actually information on Ditto for Melee. Tails was a rumored character in Melee. That was a huge, very popular leak. Tails being in Melee. That was a huge leak that people like really wanted that to be real. They really tried to make that like happen. So I think Tails actually does have a chance. And if Shadow's the only remaining Echo character, then they will actually reveal Tails with Shadow together. But I actually think that Dixie Kong might not be an Echo because Isabelle isn't quite an Echo. Isabelle's a semi-clone, which means Dixie has more of a chance to be a semi-clone instead of being an Echo, thanks to Isabelle. So right now, Isabelle, you might seem like a no big deal. It might seem like this little character that came only one Smash announcement during the direct, well, involving the actual game. Just this little character, not a big deal, not a big deal. And then bam, fucking like there's seriously so much to unpack here because she's a semi-clone and because it's one of the big characters that a lot of us were predicting, but we're predicting her to be an Echo, and it's like I don't know. Dixie might not be an Echo. She might be a semi-clone. To be honest, I think that makes more sense for her to be because she has her hairspin move. So maybe it makes more sense for her to not be an Echo of Diddy and just be her own character. After all, Dixie Kong, when you look at the Echoes, okay, a lot of the Echoes are from, two of them are from Fire Emblem, right? And that's like, okay, holy shit, we already have all these guys with swords. How many more people with fucking swords do we need? So they're Echoes, which means you can basically turn them into glorified costumes if you go into the options menu and put Echoes on each other. What we got with Daisy? Daisy's never been fucking playable in a Mario game. Toadette is in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as a playable character. She's the first character that's going to be a playable platformer character in the Mario game. Not fucking Daisy, okay? Daisy is not fucking playable in any game. She's not really a character you have to save in these games. She's just there because people know her from Mario Kart and Mario Party. That's why she's there, okay? She's just there because she's always been a costume in Smash anyway. So they said, hey, since we always make her a costume for Peach in literally every game, let's just put her in the game. So, yeah, that's why Daisy's there, okay? Then look at Dark Samus. Dark Samus had no chance of being her own character. Let's be real. It just wasn't going to happen. Her best chance was always being an assist trophy until Echoes existed. So then when you look at Richter and Simon, I mean, obviously they're not going to do two Belmonts. So if they're going to do any Belmont character, a second Belmont character, they're going to be an Echo. Duh. Okay, they're not going to do two Belmont characters from Castlevania. It's just pointless. Honestly, they really could have made Richter an alt costume, but they wanted him to have his voice lines, I guess. So they decided to put Richter in so that way he could have voice lines. That's fine. I'm fine with all that. So yeah. So I am the way I look at it, none of the Echoes are just thrown in because they can do it. Every Echo is in there because those characters who are Echoes had no chance of being characters. And so when I look at Dixie Kong, I'm like, I don't think she'll be an Echo because she's not just in the game as just because like, oh, we can make an Echo, let's do it, let's make Echoes. No, the characters who are Echoes are characters who just literally had no chance. So when you look at Dixie Kong being in the game, it's like, even Chrom was a character who had no chance because he wasn't in Smash 4 for a reason. So when you look at Dixie Kong, it's like, yes, this character actually has her own chance. She definitely has her own chance. And now that we know that semi-clones are coming back as well as Echoes, I think Dixie Kong has a strong chance of being her own unique character, and I hope that makes a lot of the Donkey Kong fans happy that she will not be just reduced to an Echo. And I hope people start to realize that not half the cast of new characters, or not half the game's characters are going to be fucking Echoes, or half Echoes. A lot of people have been making these predictions that there's going to be like a fucking 15 fucking Echoes. No. There might be a few more, but there's not going to be a bajillion. But I also think that, Isabelle not being Echo is perfect. But I kind of thought that Shadow and Isabelle went together, and those were the two that were going to be announced. And then I thought maybe they'll announce 3 Echoes with Dixie Kong, Shadow, and Isabelle all at once. It's kind of like how they did Chrom and Dark Samus together. Now I see 2 things possibly happening. The first thing being that they announced Tails, and once they show off Tails in game, they'll also show Shadow as an Echo at the very end. I could easily see that. And the other thing is they'll do 2 Echoes just like last time, but they'll specifically do Shadow and Kin, with the reason being that they're 2 third-party Echoes, and that third parties are getting Echoes. This is the thing, though. I really don't think Kin will be in the game. I think it's a stupid thing, but I know the top leaker is going against me saying it, which makes me say, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to think. Relax was the first person I saw say that Isabelle won't be an Echo and be her own original character. And he said Tails will be playable. I do think there's some credibility here that Tails could be playable just because he was a rumored character for Melee, and it seems like Sakurai is doing this whole thing with everyone is here, and that's like hilarious because that's part of it. It's like, well, Tails was a character to be rumored in the game, so maybe he should be in the game. So we could see Tails as a playable character, and that's very exciting. So Tails and Shadow, or Shadow and Kin, is what I'm predicting for the next one. But I'm also still predicting Skull Kid and Geno, and I would not be shocked if there's another Pokemon. Now, because of this, there's a lot of characters, which makes me think that there might be another direct that just shows off one character exclusively, like next month, instead of showing straight up like a whole Smash-based direct. There might be one more direct before a Smash-based direct that just shows off one character. And when that happens, we'll have to see. But I think that might happen, wherein they'll show off another character for Smash, and possibly be a newcomer. Because if I'm suggesting there's going to be 4 newcomers still, I don't think they're going to show 4 newcomers in one video. I think 3 newcomers is kind of pushing it too. But we'll have to see, you guys. We'll have to see. So I'm going to leave the video into here. It's gone on a little too long considering I'm combining them. Maybe I won't combine them. Maybe I'll just do separate videos. Yeah, no, I'm going to combine them. Anyway, yeah, so sorry guys, but there's a lot of interesting information involving Isabelle that I can't wait to dive into, and we kind of just need to wait for the next video to really get a call for that. But I am going to try to keep predicting, but we'll see. Next video coming up, I do want to eventually just talk about Sony, and I do want to talk about some other things here and there. So I'll catch you guys later.